It's kind of the same. It feels like the same most of the time. I always talk about plans. I always talk about trying to make plans, and then they just get shot to pieces because I'm a human being, and I try to make plans and they don't work. So while I was sitting right there, I changed what song I was going to play right off the bat. So this is to become best friends right as we get started here. So I don't think I've ever started with this, but we'll see. Would you be free from your burden of sin? There's power in the blood, power in the blood. Would you believe over victory when there's wonderful power in the blood? There is power, wonderful power in the blood. There is power, wonderful power in the precious blood of the Lamb. I'll fly away your glory. I fly away. When I die, hallelujah, my when this life is over, I fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I fly away, I'll fly away your glory. I fly away. Just a few more days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away your glory. I'll fly away. Fly away. I heard an old story, how a Savior came from glory, how he gave his life on Calvary to save a wretch like me. I heard about his broken and his precious blood told me, and I repented of my sins and won the victory. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. Saw me and bought me with his redeeming blood. He loved me ere I knew, and all my love is due him. Plunged me to victory beneath the cleansing flood. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. because He lives. All fear is gone, because I know He holds the future. Life is worth living just because He lives. You must think I'm strong. Give me what I'm going through. Give me if I'm wrong. This looks like more than I can do on my own. And I know I'm not strong enough to be everything that I'm supposed to be. I give up. I'm not strong enough. Have mercy, won't you cover me, Lord, right now? I'm asking you to be strong enough for the hope of love. Well, maybe that's the point. Reach the point of giving up. When I finally at rock bottom, that's when I start looking up and reaching out. I know I'm not strong enough to be everything that I'm supposed to be. I give up. I'm strong enough. It's a mercy, won't you cover me, Lord, right now? I'm asking you to be strong enough, I'm broken, done nothing but to hold on to the one thing. You are God and you are strong with. I am weak and I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I don't have to be strong enough. And I know I'm not strong enough to be everything that I'm supposed to be. I give up. I'm not strong enough. It's a mercy, won't you cover me, Lord, right now? I'm asking you to be strong enough for the both of us. For the both of us. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I don't have to be strong enough. How's everyone? Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Oh, that's very nice. Wonderful. I like that. Wonderful. I'm wonderful that I'm not in the van anymore for at least a little bit. I was in Austin, Texas, night before last, and I was supposed to play in New Lexington, Ohio last night, which was a really long drive anyway, but instead of making it to New Lexington, Ohio last night, I broke down in Texas 45 minutes into my drive, and I was stuck there for 18 hours, and I finally was able to leave around 5 p.m. yesterday to drive here, and I got here about, 45 minutes ago? Something like that. Luckily I was able to get stuck in every major city's traffic other than Pittsburgh, which was awesome. So I went south of that, which was good. But when I left, I was near Belton, Texas, which is just south of Waco, and I'm like, hopefully I don't hit Dallas traffic, and I did. I was sitting still for a very long time in Dallas traffic, and then that's fine. Texarkana was pretty late, not a big deal. Little Rock was really not a big deal at all. Memphis was a little backed up. Nashville was very backed up because it was literally rush hour this morning in Nashville. I'm like, okay. Then I got stuck in some traffic in Louisville, then some in Cincinnati. Or I literally, I couldn't have driven through more cities than today. And so I was like, okay, Columbus, please. Columbus was okay. They always have their roads torn up there. But made it through that, and then not a big deal getting here from there. But it's been a lot of time in the van over the past few days, and hardly any sleep. So it's like, at any moment, if I literally trail off and start talking about Mars or something, you'll understand why. But tonight afterwards, I'm taking off to Vermont because tomorrow I'm playing my first ever nursing home at 2 p.m. tomorrow in New Hampshire. So I'm going to Vermont, which is where I'm playing tomorrow night, but then I'm going to follow someone just across the border in New Hampshire to play a nursing home. And I'm really excited about it because my wife always makes jokes about someday I'll do nursing home tours because older people seem to really like when I play music. I'm like, well, that's cool, that's great, I'm about it. And tomorrow I get to play a nursing home, and I hope it's the first of many. The same as I've gotten to play several prisons. It's been cool. Got to play the Somerset prison, loved it. Those guys, I just remember vividly walking across the lawn heading to the chapel, and these people, they didn't even see me. There's hundreds of inmates walking by, and we're just walking through, and I'm invisible here, and this is pretty incredible, but yet terrifying at the same time. And so I was at the Clarinda prison in Iowa about a month ago, and it was really cool because I hadn't been able to go back since COVID, and so it was really, really cool to be there. I loved it. I would normally play this song last, but I'm just very grateful to be able to be here tonight and that I was able to make it. It wasn't easy, but it's not supposed to be. And so this is one of those songs I wish I'd written and I didn't get to. All my words fall short. I've got nothing new. How could I express all my gratitude? I could sing these songs as I often do, but every song must end, and you never do. So I throw up my hands, praise you again and again. All that I have is a hallelujah, hallelujah. And I know it's not much, nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah. just one move, with my arms stretched wide, I will worship you. So I throw up my head, praise you again and again. All that I have is a hallelujah. Hallelujah. And I know it's not much, nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah. Oh, come on, my soul, don't you get shy on me, lift up your song, 'cause you got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Lord. Oh, come on, my soul, oh, don't you get shy on me, lift up your song, 'cause you got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Praise the Lord. So I throw up my hands, praise you again and again, except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, I talked about that song a lot. I talked about how I didn't get to write it and I wish I did. But I'm just glad it exists, you know? I'm glad it's something that people can hear. Our family, we went to the Worship Nights tour with Phil Wickham and Brandon Lake, I guess a few months ago, in Minneapolis. And it was so cool because you had probably, I don't know, probably 14,000 people singing gratitude together. It's kind of a glimpse of what heaven will be like, and I thought it was really cool. Glad I could do it. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you, only you. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the dark. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. Your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. You. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will rise, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will rise, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. This guitar is new to me. I was in North Dakota a few weeks ago, and I had my black on black PRS Parlor acoustic guitar with me, and the pastor of the church was asking me about it after I was done playing, and he's talking about how you've never really seen one in real life. I'm like, I haven't either until, I was at the factory and saw these guitars. I'm like, those are cool. Ended up starting to play the Paul Reed Smith acoustics, and he was telling me about the guitars that he had. Like, he has quite the collection of guitars. I'm like, that's crazy, whatever. And he mentioned having 2 Breedloves, and this is a Breedlove, which the only other time I had played a Breedlove was in Germany. And I'm like, wow, those are cool. He's like, oh, so you played one? I'm like, yeah, they're pretty great, whatever. Anyway, throughout the evening, as we continued to talk, because we're just talking about music, talking about guitars, talking about ministry, talking about hunting, because he's a hunter. He takes people on these missions hunting trips. And he's like, I'd sure like to put one of those Breedloves in your hands. I'm like, what? No, I'm totally good. I don't need it, whatever. He's like, no, I'd love to bless you with a guitar. I'm like, why don't you sell it? Like, why don't you just sell it? I mean, if you need to get rid of a guitar, sell it. That'd be so. And I just I wasn't going to take his guitar, right? I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Anyway, he mentioned it again before I left. He's like, I'm telling you, I'd love to get a guitar into your hands. I'm like, I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I'll see it, right? So I left, right? And I promised Jackson that I would stop at Walmart in town and see what Transformers they had, right? Because he collects Transformers. And I was in there and I was looking at these Transformers and I'm like, first of all, I was like, he has all those. I can't like even talk to him about he has them all. And I'm like, I remember this phrase that someone said to me 15 years ago probably. I remember them walking up to me at the merch table after a spoken show and they tried to hand me a $100 bill. Like, hey, here for some gas. I'm like, oh, no, let's keep that. He's like, no, I mean, I want to give this to you for gas. I'm like, no. And he said this phrase to me. He said, don't deny my blessing. And I was like, I've never heard that phrase before, but it was like pretty piercing to me. I'm like, don't deny. I'm like, okay. So I took the money and it, filled our van up with gas, which was amazing. But that stuck with me, like all of these years later, don't deny my blessing type situation. And so I'm standing there looking at these Transformers and I was thinking about how this pastor wanted to give me one of his mini guitars. And he tried to tell me, he's like, I get great prices on them. I get them for good deals. I'm not paying like top of the line. He's like, I'm a pastor. Like, I can't do that. He's like, I get good deals on them. And I'm like, I denied his blessing, is what I in my head. And so I sent him a text that said, hey man, I'll take it. He's like, what? Where are you at? I'll be there. I'm at Walmart. He's like, I'm 2 minutes away. And he shows up and he gives me this guitar, right? And I'm like, dude, thank you. Thank you. He's like, no, play it. It's awesome. That's cool. Whatever. And I took it on the last trip, and I have it on this one. And it's cool that he gave me a guitar. And I don't sell guitars. Like, I mean, I think about selling guitars sometimes because I'm like, how am I going to pay that bill? I can sell that. And Timmy's like, no, you're not selling a guitar. So I didn't feel right about leaving town without getting a guitar, and it's hard when it's like someone their gifting is like hospitality, their gifting is giving, their gifting is blessing, and I tried to strip them of that, and I'm glad I have a guitar. I'm glad I can play it. I'm glad that it stays in tune. I'm glad that it sounds good. Some of you are wondering, why does he have that guitar? Where's his other one? Were you wondering that?
Yeah, I was. It was just weird to not see the Paul release.
No, like, what's he doing? Why does he have that guitar? So, I mean, the cool thing is, like, I don't see these a lot, so maybe it's something where people are like, dude, I love that guitar, I'm going to get one. Maybe. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of PRS acoustics around either, though. So, but I like them. They play great, cool, whatever. I have this. Let me think. What is this? I know how it goes. Itsy bitsy spider climbed up toward a spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. What's the next?
Out came the sun.
Out came the sun. Oh, I don't know it. I tried to get it. So I didn't know it. I didn't know it. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Down came the sun. I can't believe I never learned that song. And I have a daughter. What is wrong with me? Yeah, that went well. That went real well. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. let the storm rage on. Cold never bothered me anyway. That helped. That is a little bit. She's like literally taking off under the pews. I am out of here.
Good try.
That was a severe failure on my part. So, back in May, June, whatever, I went to Europe to see what it was going to be like to try to tour over there again because COVID destroyed everything. And I went over there and I was over there for about 12 days, and I had 10 shows booked, and I had 2 days available. And I'm not about days off. Like I want to try to do something on those days off. And so over there, I'm like, I'm gonna play on the street. I'm gonna busk. I'm gonna go busking. I'm gonna open my guitar case. I'm gonna play some songs and try to make the best out of this day off, because I'm not like I'm gonna go exploring type thing or spend money. It wasn't gonna be that. And I was driving. I had to be in Denmark the next day, so I just went ahead and went to northern Germany, and I was kind of by Oldenburg and Bremen, whatever. And I'm driving across this bridge in this downtown area, and I see like hundreds of people, right? I'm like, that's the place you go to set up and play some songs, because if there's a lot of people, maybe a few of them will care, and maybe they will drop some, coins in your guitar case. And so I figured out how to get around and back to that river area. It was super busy downtown. I had to park a long ways away at a meter. I paid way too much for parking. I take off walking. And my goal was, I was taking my guitar, I had it on a little backpack case thing, my backpack, my tripod, and I was going to set up my tripod and put it on time lapse in case something cool happened, right? Like, just in case something cool, whatever, so I had a memory of it. And I get there, I walk over the river, and I go down all these steps, and I show up where all these hundreds of people are, and I realize it's a flea market. It's like a bunch of broke people selling stuff to broke people, right? I'm like, oh, no way. I'm not going to make any money today. What am I doing? And so I'm like, all right, God, whatever you want to do, let's do it, right? So I'm walking by there, just all these tables and people, whatever. And I see this little kiosk that was like a bar / espresso shop, that's every place in Europe. I'm like, you can buy all that, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get an espresso, and I'm gonna ask them if I can play right here, because I'm buying something. I'm not loitering, whatever. Anyway, I walk up there, and someone's in line, so I kind of walk down this little alley area, and it's like this covering. It's a big stone and beautiful like brick, whatever, covering. And there's these 3 guys sitting down there. One guy's got a full-on drum kit. Another guy has one of those big, long black flutes, and he has tape all over it. And then there's a guy with a guitar. So I'm like, I can't really compete with that. That's a lot of noise that's gonna happen. And so I walk back to that little kiosk. I was like, hey, can I get an espresso? I'm like, yeah. So she hands me the espresso, and I was like, is it okay if I play some songs right here? She's like, please, because I've been listening to that all day, right? And so I'm like, she's never heard me play. She has no idea. Like I'm like, it might be worse, And so there's a bench like right here by this wall, and facing this way is the river and people just mingling everywhere, right? And so I put my tripod there, I put my phone on time lapse, and I sit down on this bench and I just start playing songs, and song, and people like walk by and they're like, whatever. A few people like drop a coin here and there, which is like normally like €1 or €2 or maybe a dime, whatever. And my super hot espresso is not helping me on this really hot summer day sitting in the sun, right? So I'm like, this is awful. I played for an hour, okay? An hour, and I was about to wind down. I was losing interest. Like, only a few people like actually said something, like, sounds very good. I'm like, hey, thank you, whatever. And right when I'm about to just stand up, put my guitar down, close my case, I hear like a polka machine type thing. And I turn and look, and there's like 2 different groups of people, of like 50 people each, coming down this ramp. A couple of the people are pushing a little cart, like it's got drinks in it. They're pushing a cart, and these people are all dressed in white flowy shirts and shorts, right? And they're just like walking, and they like stop like right where you guys are, right here in front of me, and they're like, they're just like, oh my, what's happening right now? So I I was done even if I didn't want to be done, right? So I get up and I look at my case and I had made €8, right, in an hour of playing songs in the sun, right? So I'm like, well, better than nothing, but that doesn't cover parking. I've got to find somewhere else. And so I went and I went to this place back towards where, but you know what, a detail that I have forgotten to tell people about this story is like, I walked through this little downtown area where I kind of drove through in the first place, and I hear a roar of people, okay? Like a roar, not like, oh, it's those people mingling around at a flea market. I mean a roar of people. And I turn into this big courtyard, just beautiful old buildings, and there's probably 4,000 people crammed in there, and they're all watching something that I can't see. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, what's going on? Anyway, it's like, I hear, and then all these people just start to walk away. And I'm like, why am I not playing right now for all these people? I was like, I don't know what's happening. It was because of trampolines. There are these circus people in town jumping on trampolines that had literally 4,000 people watching them losing their mind. I'm like, what is this? And within 2 minutes, all those people were gone. They just disappeared. I'm like, all right, missed my shot. So I walk back towards the car, and there's this, like a pizza joint and a pub, and there's a chair in the shade. And I'm like, that's my spot. I gotta ask him. And I go up and ask this guy, I'm like, hey, can I play some songs? He's like, yep. I'm like, that's easy, right? So I sit down, I open my guitar case, and I just start playing songs, okay? All kinds of songs, whatever. There's people sitting everywhere eating pizza and just hanging out. And so with each song, if you're watching these people, you see how they react to a song. And then normally you would play more of those songs. You would try to, acknowledge them, let them know that you see them. Anyway, I got to this one part of where I'm like, oh, maybe they know this song. And so I was like, so I'm gonna play this. I was like, Tommy used to work on the town. Right, so I started playing that. And about that time, I see this group of like these 10 guys walking up the sidewalk by this busy street, pulling up just a wagon, like a little red wagon. I'm like, what are they doing? You know, like where I was like, and I get to this point, they stop, and I'm like, Jim was a diner all day, I'm playing this song. And one of the guys makes a beeline towards me, right? And he's walking towards me, I'm like, great. I said, you got a hold on what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. He's still walking towards me. And his buddies are standing there with a grin on their face. Carita, that's a lot of love. We're giving it a shot. And he's right here. Like he's standing in my face when I'm about to hit the chorus of Living on a Prayer. And he's like, I stop playing, I'm like, hi. And he says, Wonderwall by Oasis, do you know it? And I'm like, what? He's like, Wonderwall by Oasis, do you know it? I'm like, Wonderwall? I'm like, I've heard it, whatever. I haven't heard it in like 20 years. He's like, could you play it? I'm like, well, I mean, he's like, because it's my friend's bachelor party, and it would be a great memory if we could have someone record us all singing it with you as a memory forever. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know it. He's like, great. And he likes telling his buddies to start walking over here. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't even, and because at this point, there's probably 60 people sitting around listening waiting for the chorus to Living on a Prayer now, you know? And these guys, he hands off his cell phone to these two guys trying to eat a pizza and have a conversation. I've been watching them, like, they're just like, blah, 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 pizza, whatever. And the guy's like, okay, so he turns towards me, and these 10 guys make a half moon shape around me. Like right here, no one else exists anymore, right? And the guy's like, so yeah, it's a 2-day. I'm like, 2 days. He's like, yes, right. He's like, okay. So like, tell the guy, start recording. I'm like, Jesus, I don't know what you're doing. And so I was like, today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And by now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. feet, the wood is on the street, and the fire in your heart is out. And I know we've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And he has this phone out with the lyrics that I know, right? Said maybe you're gonna be the one that stays now. And after all, you're my wonderwall. All I knew is that it did a weird drum beat thing, so I was like, I didn't know what to do, so. And maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. I was done, right? He's like, yeah, great, whatever. And his buddy drops a 20 euro in my guitar case. I'm like, yes. Like, it was so awkward. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never played that together at all. I'd never had done that. And so one, I was like, oh, that's a small miracle. Like, that was really cool. And so these guys, they moved to right here, and they're still standing there, and they're still enjoying their bachelor party situation. Everyone else is turning towards me. And so I'm like, I've got this captive audience now because everyone else was really confused by what just happened. These guys are not leaving. And so I literally, this is what I played. The weapon may be formed, but it won't prosper. When the darkness falls, it won't prevail. 'Cause the God I serve knows only how to triumph. My God will never fail. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. There's power in the mighty name of Jesus. Every war he wages, he will win. And I'm not backing down from any giant. 'Cause I know how this story ends. Yes, I know. Yes, I know how this story ends. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you. You take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. You take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. Turn it for good. You take what the enemy and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. You take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. You take what the enemy meant for evil, and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. So the awkward, not potentially awkward, but the very awkward situation of playing in that spot and playing Wonderwall for the first time ever, and the uncertainty and the unknown, it turned into a church service because I played like 7 worship songs in a row, and those guys stood there the whole time. And so if we look at life as what kind of opportunities can God present to us, and are we willing to take a chance on feeling awkward? Are we willing to take a chance on an awkward conversation? We never truly know what God can do in that situation. And, it ended up being a really cool day and some cool conversations, and again, church in a courtyard of a bar / pizza joint with a bunch of strangers, you know. And so at the end of that, you know, I probably played for an hour and a half there. I had made 38 euro. Like, I'm like, okay, not a wasted day, right? That's cool, whatever. And I got to experience church, you know. It was no accidental church, but it was church. I went back, I took off driving, and I was going to Denmark, and I pulled off because I was going across, I saw this beautiful body of water, and the sun was still, it was pretty far up at 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, this is crazy. So I went and I did this live stream and froze to death by this part of some ocean. I don't know what it was. And I take off, I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and get into Denmark. And I pull up to this toll, which I think is a toll bridge, because I hadn't been paying attention to where it was really taking me. I was just following the GPS. And I get up and I swipe my card, and it said 103 euro. I'm like, what did I just do, right? I'm like, it can't be right. And I follow all these cars on to a ferry. I pulled onto a boat. I was in the belly of a boat. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, what? No, right? And so I get out of the car because I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know what it is, but I'm definitely looking at my maps now, and it's like, yep, I'm at the end of the land, and it's way over here. And so I'm like, seriously, it was a 45-minute ferry ride to Denmark that cost me 103 euro. I'm like, no way. This is crazy. And when I got out of the car in the belly of this boat, I'm like, I guess I should take a picture for my kids. They might think this is cool. But so I get out, and I just turn and I go like this right here. I take a picture, and this guy comes walking towards me, and he's like, did you just take our picture? I'm sorry. He's like, did you just take our picture? I'm like, I took a picture, but it's at the boat. He's like, come here. And I don't know why, but I followed this guy, you know, who was dressed in like Adidas tearaway pants and stuff, right? I follow him, and there's a guy standing there with his foot up on the bumper of his car tying his shoe, like I'm in a movie, right? He's like this, and he's looking at me, and he's like, did you take our picture? I'm like, no, I took a picture of the boat. He's like, oh, you're sure? I'm like, yeah, I can delete the picture. It's for my kids, whatever. He's like, no, I was just driving really fast. I'm like, you thought I was taking a picture of your license plate? He's like, yeah, I was driving really fast. I'm like, Dude, no. So I hung out with these guys for a bit. I paid for a really overpriced schnitzel on the ship. And I was like, I can't believe I'm on this boat right now. I can't believe how much it cost. And I was thankful that I did play on the street that day, because that would have been a big loss that day for finances. I'm like, man. Itsy bitsy spider crawling up the walls. Down came the rain and washed the spider. Up came the sun and dried off all the rain. He's like, don't ever invite that guy back. He doesn't know the song. You're right, I don't. You are the fortress, standing tall, above all that you created. You are the power that could bring the dead to life. There is no other could take the place of what you gave to my heart. Forever is waiting, forever is waiting. You ran to me, held me in your arms. You rescued me, held me to your heart. You ran to me, held me in your arms. You rescued me, held me to your heart. Me, held me in your arms. Rescue me, held me to your heart. You ran to me, held me in your arms. Rescue me, held me to your heart. Forever's not so far away from you, so hold on. It's coming back to you. With his arms wide open, he's reaching out to you. He's on his way, so hold on. He's coming back for you. With his arms wide open, he's reaching out to you. I believe forever's not so far. Again, thanks for letting me be here. I do appreciate it. I can't believe I still get to play music, and I know I say that every time I'm here, but when you think of like what a normal day for me is, when I tell people that I'm a glorified driver, I drive all day and I get to play songs at the end of the day, that's truly what I do. I just never imagined it being so many years of my life that I get to do it. Do you guys have any questions about anything I'll be able to answer before I play a couple more songs?
When do you sleep?
Say that again?
When do you sleep?
I don't know.
Nobody drives.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I stopped at a Love's for 2 hours this morning. Because if I don't actually like stop between like 4:30 and 6:30 before the sun starts to come up, my body is like, are you kidding? The sun's up. Keep going. What are you doing? And so I knew how completely awful I would feel if I didn't at least try to take a nap and fool myself into thinking I slept some. So I stopped and I set my alarm, and I laid down in the bench seat and I was like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. What are you doing? Go to sleep. And I was hearing every semi pull in. I was hearing every car. I kept hearing the interstate. And the music at the pumps is always really loud at night. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's like they keep it loud for a reason. And I'm laying there, I'm like, just go to sleep. This is your opportunity. Like, this is it. This is all you got. Eventually, I did fall asleep, and then my alarm made me angry when it went off. So my alarm went off. I sat directly up. I got in the driver's seat. I pulled over to the pump. I spent $70 on a tank of gas, and I took off driving. Like, it's like, that's glamorous. I mean, that's cool. That's people like, it's so opposite of what people think being in a band is. Like, it's so opposite. And, I took off driving. I was very thankful that I was able to sleep some, But that whole time you're thinking is like, what if you do get stuck in traffic? What if there's an accident? What if there's a detour? You're thinking all that stuff. So I left home on Tuesday morning, and this is awful. I'm currently probably at 5 hours sleep, and I feel pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, I feel pretty good, but I am driving for a few hours tonight as well. So it's like, I won't feel pretty good. I'm like, you're dumb. Like, what are you doing? But I gotta be ready for that nursing home show tomorrow, you know what I mean? I'm excited, and I hope they enjoy it, and they don't just sit there and stare at me like, why are you here? I sleep when I'm home. I sleep so good. I sleep so good at home. I love that. That's cool. That's what I look forward to. Getting home, hanging out, eating dinner with the family, putting the kids to bed, the boys refusing to go to sleep. Midnight rolls around, finally Jackson falls asleep. And then Tiffany and I talk for another couple hours about our family, our kids, church, music, schedules, how sweet Vivian is, stuff like that. And then she's like, all right, your eyes are shutting, go to bed. So I'm like white noise, done. Any other questions before I do this? Sometimes it's a good idea to say if you have any questions. Other times people stare at you and they don't. They really have no questions. There's nothing they've ever wondered about anything, about musicians or people that drive and travel. You already know my favorite place to eat, my favorite place to hang out. That's where I'd work if I lived here.
Jeez, are you sure you want to work there?
I think I would love it. I would empty that trash so often. I would say hello to every person that walked in. I would probably actually learn how to make coffee. That'd be cool. I'd like to do that. I'd learn how to make coffee. I'd be their barista. Or I'd be in charge of making their delicious chili dogs. That'd be awesome. I'd be like quality control when it came to like, did they ask for, did they want boom boom sauce? Did they want ketchup? They want barbecue sauce? What do they want? You want an extra? I'll give you an extra. It's cool. I'll do it. I'd have old Steve Sheets calling me upset at me all the time. Quit holding up all the people, man. Any other questions?
Do you know how to play Wheels on the Bus?
What? Did you say Wheels on the Bus?
Yep.
No. I messed up.
You should
It's
put
a
out.
spider enough.
You should put out an album for young children.
Nursery rhymes?
Nursery rhymes.
Well, obviously I don't know him. I would have been able to like sing Itsy Bitsy Spider. I've never.
Miss Rachel will help you.
He was talking about that today. Like Miss Rachel. Like, guess I didn't figure it out.
Be a captive new audience.
Oh. What'd you say?
Be a captive new audience.
Yeah, it's true.
You got the nursing homes.
Hey, could you lead nursery worship today? Yeah. I'll be in the nursery today leading worship. Wow. All right. If you don't have any more questions, I'm moving on. Nothing? All right. It's hard to believe so many years have passed. So many lessons learned and how some things never last. Holding on to dreams, waiting for tomorrow to come. So many bridges will burn from all the things we cannot run. All the pages it turned and how I never learned. I guess some things never last. So wipe away the tears and never let me go. Be the hope when the world is crashing down. Come wrap your arms around me. All the storm inside me. Need to feel you standing close to me. Be the hope when the world is crashing down. Come wrap your arms around me. All the storm inside me. I told you I would love you until the end of time. You are the hope I need when you're here by my side. All the pages it turned and how I never learned. I guess some things never last. So wipe away the tears and never let me go. Be the hope when the world is crashing down. Come wrap your arms around me. All the storm inside me. Need to feel you standing close to me. Be the hope when the world is crashing down. Come wrap your arms around me. All the storm inside me. Till never let me go. Till never leave me here alone. All the storm inside my heart. Be the hope that I don't let no one. Till never let me go. Till never leave me here alone. All the storm inside my heart. So wipe away the tears and never let me go. Be the hope when the world is crashing down. Come wrap your arms around me. All the storm inside me. Need to feel you standing close to me. Be the hope when the world is crashing down. Come wrap your arms around me. All the storm inside me. Thank you guys very much. So with yesterday with having to cancel or reschedule my New Lexington, Ohio, I moved it to Sunday night. And so tonight I'll go, like I said, I go to New Hampshire. I'll play the nursing home at 2, at 6 o'clock playing in Halifax. And then I have to take off to go and play New Lexington, Ohio on Sunday night. The thing is, I've kind of drive through like the western half of Pennsylvania, right? And so I'm trying to figure out doing guest worship somewhere on Sunday morning on my way through. Because if I'm going to be driving through some town, some city, obviously there's a church, there's whatever, and maybe somebody might be interested or in need. But if you know of someone, honestly, it would need to be, this area, Pittsburgh area, Butler, somewhere in that space for Sunday morning, because I still have to have time to make it to New Lexington, Ohio by 6 p.m. to play on Sunday night. So if you know anyone in those areas and you have ideas, that'd be cool, let me know. Because I hate driving through towns when I've got to go through there anyway and not being able to play or be useful on a Sunday morning. So however, you can contact your aunts and uncles in Pennsylvania. I never imagined God using me to do anything like this. And daily I kind of question him on why he lets me do this. So whoever you are, no matter how old, how young you are, what you have or have not done, if you're alive and you're breathing, God is not done with you. And he has something amazing in store for you if you're willing to do it. Thanks again for caring about me and caring about my family and attending events, responding to text messages, Facebook messages, sending encouraging thoughts on Facebook. I appreciate it. Let's do my last song. Thank you guys. I saw the storm out the wind begin to change. I saw the sky red wide open. I looked away, hid my face from the world, ran away from everything. But now I'm back for more. I heard the sounds of flashing light once the day turned into night. I heard the sounds of the flashing light once the day turned into night. Through it all, we've been thrown in the fire, we've been lost in the flame. But we will rise from the ashes and hidden, all odds have been broken. We've been burned by the flame. We will rise from the ashes and hidden. She watched her world as it slowly slipped away, lost all her dreams in the ocean. She sees his face, feels his touch on her hand, remembers when she had everything. One day she will again. I heard the sounds of flashing light once the day turned into night. Through it all, we've been thrown in the fire, we've been lost in the flame. But we will rise from the ashes and hidden, all odds have been broken. We've been burned by the flame. We will rise from the ashes and hidden. You're all that I have, everything that I need, the one that I run to, everything I believe. You're all that I have, everything that I need, the one that I run to, everything I believe. I believe. Through it all, we've been thrown in the fire, we've been lost in the flame. But we will rise from the ashes and hidden, all our hearts have been broken. We've been burned by We will rise from the ashes again. We will rise from the ashes again. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. It's painless, I promise. I feel bad because I didn't think of this question until later, when you were asking for questions. What can we be praying for you?
Safety, always, on the road, that the roads stay clear, that there's no more vehicle issues, because it's absolutely inconvenient, time-wise, finance-wise. Obviously, I don't like having to change dates on people when they were kind enough to give me a date in the first place, and then I go messing it up by not being able to make it. Normally, everyone's really understanding, so that's cool, but you know, it's safety for my family when I'm away as well.
Which wife's name? Tiffany. Okay. You have how many kids? Three. Okay. Let's lift Matt up in prayer right now. Dear Heavenly Father, would you want to lift up Matt to you? He talked about denying blessings. And Father, he is a blessing. You use him faithfully. He is willing to be used faithfully and bless others. And we thank you for that. And Father, I want to lift up Matt and Tiffany to you. This is not an easy life. Ministry rarely is, if we're doing it right. And some ministries are a lot harder than others. But you know that. And you equip us for that truth. Father, I want to lift up Matt and Tiffany and just ask for your blessing on them, on their marriage. This is not an easy life, but it is a life that they have chosen in service to you, and we are grateful for that. I ask that you would bless them with your Holy Spirit, that he would flood their marriage, their hearts, their minds, their souls, with the peace that surpasses all understanding that can only come from your Son, Jesus Christ. That the sense that they have your protection over their marriage. Father, I pray that you would surround their marriage with your heavenly host. Shields up, swords drawn to fend off the attacks of the enemy, Father. There have got to be tiresome times of doubt. There is no doubt. Father, I pray that you would just replenish them, strengthen them, and encourage them as they go down this road. And we thank you that we are part of that road. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, that's what we got. Can you hear me here? Oh, I know I'm supposed to use this one, sorry. That's what we've got. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I do want to encourage you, we do have an offering plate back there where Matt is also selling merchandise, at least for himself, if not for his band Spoken. I'm not sure about that. But I want to encourage you, if you could find it to leave something for him, that would be a big help, because this is in fact his livelihood. So thank you again. God bless you all and have a wonderful night. Music City and special thanks to Word